Welcome back to Science with Miss Dubois. Today we're talking about how to do general research. That's me, Miss Dubois, so let's begin. Research is the act of gathering new information on a brand new topic. And scientists do this in a wide variety of ways. They can run experiments and collect data and or observations on those experiments and see what they mean, or they can research the internet and see what other scientists have talked about or what other experts have talked about and collect data from that and just learn about what other people have written about. Today we are going to focus on the searching the internet piece, and basically what we are going to do is learn how to search the internet and gather information from it while still preparing for a big research paper or any type of homework assignment. Now, there are 5 main steps to do internet research that can really be applied to any subject in school. The first step is to type your question or statement into an internet search engine. The second step is to find a reliable source. The third step is to write down the information you're learning from your reliable source into some type of document. I prefer to do a Google document, but I'll explain this later on in the video. The fourth is to cite your sources. I cannot emphasize that enough. I'll emphasize it later on in the video. And the fifth step is to basically repeat this process until either you have enough sources for your assignment or until your question is answered if you're just doing research on your own spare time. Step 1 is to type your question or statement into a search bar. You want to ask whatever you're specifically curious about into the search engine. I have a couple of preferences myself that I'm going to recommend, but just to preface this, a lot of my preferences are science learning based because I am a science teacher. Now, with that being said, I still have a couple of other preferences that can be used for any subject, as I'll get into this right now. My preferences specifically are Google Scholar. This is great if you are in high school or college and your teacher or professor is requiring journal articles. This is great for a lot of reasons, but one of the main reasons is that they will offer a list of citations just available for you to use, which makes citing your paper or research a lot easier. A couple of my other preferences are Science Explorers. This is great for researching science on the middle school level. Science News. This is great for researching science at any grade level, mostly high school. LabX, and then finally, any library database. If you have access to a library database, regardless of what subject you are researching, I definitely recommend it because those sources are always reliable or typically reliable, and they are just a great way to get good research done. For the sake of this video, I'm researching why is sleep important. As you can see right here, I typed it into Google, it popped up this result. Step 2 is to click on a reliable resource. Basically, this is anything that is written by an expert. There are a lot of versions of this: books, journal articles written by people that are experts, and so forth. Something that is not a reliable resource is anything that can be edited by anyone or is written by someone that is not an expert in the field. It's really important that you click on a reliable resource so you can get the most accurate and up-to-date information on whatever topic you are studying. Bringing this back to my own research, I know that the NIH is a reliable source, so I click on that as my reliable source for this video. Step 3 is writing down information from the source somewhere. I tend to like to do this in a Google Doc in the tab right over, and I like to do this way because it keeps me organized and I get to do it as I read through the article. Another thing that I like to do as well is I like to grab a direct quote and basically cite it just in case my paper requires that. And I basically paraphrase what the quote was about underneath. I never direct copy and paste with this unless I'm citing my sources. And also, this whole process really does help me cite my sources because I add the link to where I get the article from, if not the citation itself. It depends on where I get the source from. If I'm getting it from Google Scholar, I'm going to cite the source from there. If I'm not, then I'm going to get the link and then cite it somewhere else later on using a citation website, which I'll explain how to do later on in the video. Let's talk about my credentials because I'm talking about reliable sources and I want to make sure that you know that this is a reliable video for you to watch on how to research. I've been researching weather since I was 7 years old out of fear and curiosity, and that's a long time. And I did research in high school for 3 years where I conducted my own research on severe weather. I majored in earth science education at the University of Delaware, where I had to do a lot of research projects for the classes I was in. I went to NYU for grad school, where I had to write a lot of research papers. And I currently teach science, where I teach my students how to research. And now that you know about my background, I need to emphasize to never copy and paste information without citing your sources. If you do copy and paste, that is called plagiarism, which is just very, very bad. And then the first thing that I do as I gather my information and write down my notes, I actually copy and paste the URL. This way it's really easy for me to cite my sources. And then I go back to the article, copy and paste some key quotes that I know will be important for me as I skim through it. And then I take some notes on it, as you can see in this video right here. Step 4 is to cite your sources. Share where you got the information from. Scientists do this in APA format, and there's a couple of ways to get this done. A lot of websites will actually do this for you. Google Scholar is one of those websites where if you click on like the quotation tab, that will bring up the APA format as well as a couple of other citing formats. As for actually how to do it yourself, that requires a whole other video that I won't be getting into in this topic or this video. So watch another video on the internet for that, or just use one of the websites I have linked below. And then I cite my sources because I copied and pasted. I love to use Citation Machine. It is free with an ad, and this is not sponsored, but I genuinely love this website for citations. And yeah, you can see me going through the citation process right here. It does it for you. It's a wonderful website. Strongly recommend. Step 5 is to repeat this. Repeat this until you have enough sources for whatever your homework assignment or writing paper assignment requires, or until you answered your question if you are just researching for fun. And that's on how to do general research. Bye!